Today we're going to talk about technology in the CLK schools. Long ago, children would use chalk and a chalkboard to do problems. Today, things have definitely changed. Children and staff members are now using computers to do things. They can use them for seating charts, attendance, grades, typing, cruising on the internet, or just plain having fun. Schools are getting more and more advanced these days. Things have really changed. In this program, we will be talking about things like computers in the library, the internet, the WMS Tech Lab, the heating and lighting system, and much more. Let's take a look at the future of education in the CLK schools.
The internet. We all know can help students with their schoolwork. We can go anywhere in the world and do anything, good or bad. Many people wonder how to get kids from looking at things that are not appropriate to see at their age. Sometimes, even adults get into places they shouldn't be. Men and women both can get a hold of information that's private, and they can use it to take things from other people, like money, credit card numbers, addresses, and phone numbers. If this information gets out, it can be deadly to the person or family who owns this.
The internet, the web, cyberspace, whatever you call it, it seems intimidating. For parents, it seems like trouble for your children. But now in schools everywhere, it is becoming a necessity for assignments. To keep your children from seeing and reading inappropriate things, the school has placed firewalls. Firewalls are like cyber doors that can't be opened by children. Although firewalls do block some bad things, they aren't perfect. Sometimes they block some okay things or miss the bad. The internet is full of useful information, and the firewalls block the unuseful and inappropriate. The internet, good or bad, you decide.
People react in different ways about computers and the internet. Some people enjoy having these things in their homes. Some people react like a lot of people did when radios were invented. Then TV. People often reject new things and then they accept them. Most people can't live without their radios and television sets now, so maybe the day will come when we can't live without computers and the internet.
Hello, I'm here with Mrs. Deborah Euler, the media specialist in our new library. She's going to tell us a little bit about computers in the new library. So how long have you been working in the library?
I've been with the Calumet School District working in the library for about 5 years now.
And what are some things you use the computers in the library for?
Oh, we use computers in the library every single day. We use computers to catalog our books, we use computers to look up our books, we use computers to check the books out. We do a lot of word processing, we do a lot of database work, some spreadsheets, and of course we use the computers to look at CD-ROMs and get on the internet too.
And do you think computers have made your job easier or more confusing?
Neither, I guess. Computers have changed my job, that's for sure. They've made some things much easier. Some library tasks are much easier to do now. They don't take so much time. But I spend a lot of my time now troubleshooting computers. I'm learning new resources every day and then turning around and teaching those resources to other people.
And do students seem to enjoy using the computers in the library?
Absolutely. The kids love the computers. They go to the computers for their first search for any kind of information. Sometimes it's not the best place to go. Sometimes we can find an answer quicker in a book, but they want to use the computers.
Have any students or teachers not enjoyed using the computers?
I think the only people who haven't enjoyed using computers are people who haven't had much experience with them. They're afraid of what they're going to do. And once they've had a chance to work with computers, become a little more comfortable, then they find they like them too.
Do you think getting the internet on the computers in the library is a good idea?
Oh, yes. The internet has all kinds of educational resources that simply wouldn't be available to the people here in Calumet without a computer.
And do you think there will be problems with students being on the internet when teachers can't always watch them?
Hopefully there won't be too many problems. All the students are asked to be responsible users. Parents are being asked to sign access forms before students can even get on the internet. And there will be repercussions if they do something inappropriate, if they go somewhere they shouldn't go, because all of the internet use is tracked. That is, they know who's going where.
Lots of you have probably heard of the email system. Well, our school is starting to get email and experiment with it. The good part of email is you save paper and time. Teachers don't have to go out of the room to send messages to other teachers. You can send letters, sound, music, videos, and computer programs all over the world for free. The bad part about it is that people can read what you wrote, like a postcard, and you can't send a package or something of that sort. I wonder if the post office likes email or not.
Many people think that email is private. Well, it isn't. Email is more like a postcard. You type a message to someone and send it to them, but anyone else who knows how can read it along the way, just like a mailman can read a postcard. So you shouldn't send anything you wouldn't want seen in public.
If you work for the government or a certain company, you could get private email, but it costs money. You have to type a code in to send it and receive it. Only the person you want to can see it. The CLK students must be careful of what they write because everyone can see it.
In the new library, the technology is growing. Do you remember when we had those card catalogs? Well, we don't have them anymore. It's all loaded onto a computer. If you need to find a certain book, type its name into the computer and it will tell you where to find the book. Students now have library cards with barcodes on them, telling information about that student.
The internet is now on our computers at the library. It's available to students and teachers. There's not as many encyclopedias in the library because the information is on CDs for a computer. Not only words show up, but also pictures and videos. For example, if you were doing a report on Martin Luther King, a videotaped part of his famous speech, "I Had a Dream," might appear on your screen.
In the future, most jobs will be operated by computers, so kids need to know how to use them. Most people think a computer is something just to type on or play games on, but computers are more than that. For example, when cars are built, car companies can first, before the car is actually built, build it on a computer digitally. Then they can test it to see if it works. Then they really build it if it works. If it doesn't, they fix the mistakes on the computer. So I'm here in the Washington Middle School Tech Lab where kids learn all about different kinds of things computers can be used for. Let's look at a couple of the different stations. The flight simulator teaches kids how to fly a plane and lets them fly a simulator. This station teaches kids about computer-aided design and allows them to use it. Animation shows kids what is used to make cartoons and lets them make their own. When new kids come in, how do you organize them into groups?
Well, right now the technology lab is set up for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and each student is in here for one 6-week marking period. And what we do when they come in is we let them choose their own partner. So then we have approximately 12 to 15 groups of students, and right now we have 14 stations. So each group then writes their name and their partner's name on a piece of paper, and we call it the lottery. And we put those into a hat, and the first name slip that's pulled out of the hat gets the first choice of the stations, and then the second person chosen gets the second choice, and so on until we have all of the stations that are used up.
Why is this tech lab a good thing for middle schoolers to do?
We think that the tech lab is a good thing for middle schoolers to do because it introduces them to 14 separate technologies that are currently not being taught anywhere else, whether it's in a science class or a math class or in a history class. This class is just specifically designed to teach 14 different technologies, everything from automation and robotics to engineering and stress analysis, from computer design to computer problem solving. We also have other modules like flight simulation. And we have things like auto exploration. So it's 14 different modules that contain technologies that the students might not learn about anyplace else. And it also allows them to explore some of the career fields that they might be interested in once they leave school. One of the other good things about the technology lab is a lot of the stations that we have lead directly into stations and technologies that are being studied in the high school. The high school also has a lab. It isn't the same as this one, but a lot of the things we do here also will help to prepare the students for what they may be doing when they get to high school.
We are in the new CLK Distance Learning Lab. Students can take a class even though a teacher might not be there. Classes that are offered in other schools can all be taken by Calumet students. However, kids will not get away with things they aren't supposed to do because cameras will be on them all times. But a teacher can still teach things up in front of the room. Here's Kara Granrath to tell us about it now.
This is a projector, except it's not a normal one. You don't have to put transparent things on it. Almost anything will work. If you are doing something with your hands that is hard to see, you could use a projector and it would project the image onto the wall so everyone would be able to see. For example, dissecting a frog in biology class or in a sewing class, looking at a difficult pattern.
Before, school board members, teachers, and administrators often had to drive to meetings. Now, with our high-tech distance learning lab, people can go into this room and take part in area-wide meetings and discussions.
The CLK Schools is now offering various types of computer classes. These classes provide an opportunity for students in grades 6 through 12 to learn basic computer skills. Some of the classes are Technology Lab in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, Keyboard in Class in 6th grade, Word Processing in 7th grade, Computer Literacy in 8th grade, and Hypermedia and Programming in high school classes. There are 7 computer labs in the CLK schools, and the district owns more than 300 computers.
I'm here with Mr. George Twardick. He is a high school computer teacher and he is also the head of our technology committee. What exactly do the students learn in your class?
Well, we have a number of classes where we go all the way from learning word processing, spreadsheets and databases, up to designing and maintaining our school webpage.
What other classes do you teach here at the high school?
I teach Computer Applications 1, where we work with word processing and spreadsheets, databases, graphics, incorporating that together. Computer Applications 2, where we look at some of the different technologies that we have available, things such as scanners, digital cameras, the internet. Then we have 2 levels of computer programming where we work with C++, and a hypermedia class where we work with Hyper Studio and web page design.
Do you think the school has the necessary equipment for our students to be prepared for college?
I think we have a really good backbone. Our network and the background of technology that we have is excellent, probably the best in the area. There's always changing technologies, there's always new things that we can keep adding, and we're trying to do the best we can to keep up with that.
Thanks.
Welcome.
What grades do you teach and what do you teach them?
Well, I teach 2 classes here in the middle school, 7th and 8th grade. In 7th grade, we started out with keyboarding, and then we move on to word processing. We've been learning the aspects of ClarisWorks word processor. We're going to be doing a little bit of other things too with drawing, and we've been creating a calendar. In the 8th grade, we did some keyboarding review, and then we also talk about computer history. We talk about how the computer works, where it came from, how all the different parts work together, and we also talk about things like legal issues, ethical issues that have come up because of the technology advances and such. In the high school, I teach computer applications, which is kind of a continuation of the word processing class that you get here. You do some more word processing, you also do database and spreadsheet, and it's a semester course.
How many computers do you have in your room?
In this classroom, there are 30 computers. I believe they were purchased the end of last year, so they are almost brand new. The high school labs have 24 computers each.
What kind of computers do you have?
The computers here and in the high school lab are Macintosh. These ones here are Power Macs. Some in the computer lab in the high school are not Power Macs, but they are all Macintosh, except for the business lab, which has IBM-based machines.
One of our middle school computer teachers is Miss Julie Goldsworthy. Here's a look at our 6th grade computer keyboarding class.
Hi, I'm here to show you that Macintosh is better than Windows. Anybody who worked with both Macs and Windows could tell you in an instant that Macs are much more compatible in every way, and they are much more user-friendly. Macintosh is much easier for a beginner to learn how to use. Macs are used worldwide by schools more than any other computer, including our own. For all you Windows users out there, try a Mac and I guarantee you, you will be hooked.
Out of all the computer operating systems, Windows is the most widely used. 3/4 of the people who have computers use Windows. Most places have Windows and is better with financial and business things. Windows 95 makes it easier to install and uninstall software and to configure hardware such as a printer and modem. Windows also supports games, multimedia, and many applications. It also runs Windows 3.1, Windows 3.0, and MS-DOS programs, so you'll be able to continue using the software you bought long ago. And there's going to be a new Windows 98, which is supposed to be even more user-friendly. Wouldn't you rather have a better operating system like Windows?
I'm at the CLKN Elementary School with my mom, Sally. So, Mom, how do you use your computer here?
Well, Brian, I use computers every day. And some of the ways that I start off right in the morning, I get into my Skyward program because someone may call and ask me a question such as, who's the teacher? I have a child who's sick and I need to know the teacher. I can pop right into Skyward. I put the child's name in, it'll tell me the teacher, tell me an address. I might, again, during the course of the day, a teacher may come up and ask me information about a student. I can pop their name in and get any information about that student. It's very helpful. I also use my Microsoft Word program to do the announcements every day. And we have a student come down, one of our student leaders comes down and reads the announcements. So it's important that I have everything prepared for them. It gets really busy around here, as you've seen today. And I have everything ready, printed out for them. They come in, they can study it and do it themselves without any help from me. We also have just been able to use email, which is a wonderful feature for everyone in the school. We can email our fellow students and co-workers and tell them about different events. And that means that I wouldn't have to take the time to write a memo or do something like that. So that's some of the ways that I use the technology every day.
Not everyone is comfortable with technology today. Some people just prefer to work the old way. There are many teachers in the CLK schools who are uncomfortable using a computer. There are just as many students who are very adept at using a computer and are willing to spend time with these teachers to bring them into the 21st century. By the 21st century, our society will be almost totally computerized.
Here we are at the elementary school with Miss Dorothy Riquetta. She's a first grade teacher who's been teaching at Calumet for many years. She will be retiring after this school year.
How do you feel about having a computer in your classroom?
I like them. I wish that we had more training for the use of the computers. We have some of the discs and so on that the children can use in first grade, but as far as the teacher, as far as myself goes, I'm not that comfortable using the computer in other ways at this time.
How would you feel to be taught to use a computer by a student?
Well, I think that would be kind of interesting. I think I'd like it. I think it would be very good, but I think also that we need more training as a professional staff to use the computer effectively. The student training would be kind of neat to follow up with some of the more advanced training that we might receive in the future, so that we can better use the computer to help our students and for record keeping and the many other uses that the computer has, which I would like to for research and making our classes a little more interesting.
By the end of this year, we are expecting to have computers in each of the classrooms. There will be internet access from each of these computers through our school systems network. This network will be monitored by other computers within the school. It will be nice to be able to chat to other people without leaving our classrooms. Eventually, we will be able to connect to these computers using our own home computers and sending things to our own personal email account at school. Even now, many things are computer operated, such as grades, attendance, and class schedules for students. As of now, teachers fill in a data scan card and the computer reads that in order to take attendance for the large amount of people in our schools.
Mr. Dave Hoy was our network administrator. He helped us set up our network. He moved to Tampa, Florida for a new job. Soon the CLK schools will be hiring somebody new to take over his job.
This is the Network Control Center. In this room, we have all of our phone system, all of the data network, and all of the cable TV system. Everything comes back into this room. On this wall here, the green box is our phone demarc. We have roughly 40 telephone lines that come into this. It's the phone system for the entire district. Comes in here, phone lines come in and get conditioned through these, terminate into these patch panels, and come into this box, which is our phone system. This is an enterprise class PBX. Gives us roughly, I think it's 150 extensions throughout the district, as well as 36 voicemail boxes for the administrators. Every classroom has a telephone. Every office has a telephone. All the administrators have voicemail, as well as we have an automated attendant dial-in. This is our server farm. Basically, we've got 10 or 11 servers, depending on how you want to look at it. 2 of those servers exist outside of our firewall, one being our firewall and the other one being our proxy server. This firewall allows us to track and limit student access to the internet, as well as access coming in from the outside. All web requests or all requests to the internet have to go through the firewall to get out. The firewall then forwards that request to our proxy server. Everything gets downloaded to the proxy server so that the next person that goes to it, it's much faster for them. You see here, fiber racks. Those are where the fiber is actually terminated and comes back to this equipment. Each one of these racks represents a closet in the other rooms. There's a high school has a wiring closet on the 3rd floor and in the basement. Washington has one on the 1st floor and the 3rd floor, and the elementary has one on the 2nd floor. The one most important cable right at the moment is this little gray one. It's through this gray cable that all of our internet access is provided. Our internet access comes through RIMSE's Distance Learning Network. There we have a fiber optic connection from Hancock, from the ISD, that comes up to us and then loops through down to Lake Linden. On that fiber optic network, we grab a 10 megabit segment for Ethernet to the internet. The gray boxes that you see here control the lights and the hallway lights for the interconnect building. All of the environmental controls have been automated. These are all controlled by a computer as to when they come on and off.
Computers are even used in the food service department. One reason we use computers in the cafeteria is because there's a law in Michigan that says you have to keep track of how many calories, grams of fat, and other nutritional requirements are in the lunch meal. The state also wants to know how many students eat hot lunch in school every day. Here is Amy Lucas to tell us other ways we use computers in our hot lunch program.
Not long before in the lunchroom, you had to give the cafeteria worker your card and it would get punched by hand. Well, now all you do is give the cafeteria worker your student ID card and they scan the barcode into the computer. Easy, hey? Also, lunch menus are made on the computer. It really saves time.
Computers are even used in the music department for printing music. You compose it just like you type, except it types notes. Computers in the music department are also used for sequencing. You can hook your computer up to a synthesizer and set your computer up to play any instrument. You can also make it sound like a whole band. Just like typing, you can fix all your mistakes before printing or having the computer play it.
Most songs on the radio, songs in movies, or on television are made by sequencing. It's usually cheaper than using live musicians.
Computers are often used today to edit live videos. Video from a camera or a VCR can now be digitized and captured to a computer's hard drive. Then editing software is used to fix mistakes and rearrange parts of the program. The finished program can be played back on videotapes.
By doing this, it makes editing easier and faster. Many commercials, TV advertising, sports highlights are now using this. Many visual effects for movies are made using computer editing. Even this video has computer editing. That's the power of technology.
Phones have changed a lot over the years. From old-fashioned crank phones to answering machines, speaker phones, and caller ID, to super modern computer-controlled phone systems. Sometimes you hardly ever hear a human until you punch in some buttons and listen to a computer. Our school district has a new phone system which is monitored by a computer. The computer monitors how many calls were made. Now every teacher has a separate extension number. If there is an emergency, they can make a call from the classroom. Here's the brain of the CLK school district phone system. A long time ago, Calumet High School had only one phone. Now look, they're everywhere.
The heating and lighting system is incredible. It's huge, and it all will be controlled by a computer. Imagine not having to worry if a light is on in a room. The computer will tell you what room it is in, and you only need one man to correct the errors the computer tells you. The computer will also control the heat in each room and turn it down or up depending on how hot or cold the room is, or if people are in the room. It will be a great energy saver because it will save manpower, money, and heating costs will be decreased by a controlled environment.
Security cameras are being put up everywhere on the CLK district. Buses, playgrounds, parking lots, and hallways will soon be monitored by them. Some people think cameras are a bad idea. They think the cameras are invading their privacy. Others think they keep the schools safer.
People have been wondering if the public can use the computers in the library to go on the internet. The answer is yes. Like students, they'll have to fill out a form with their username and password. And if they get caught abusing the computers, they could get banned from school computer use.
Some abuse could be considered breaking the law. The internet can be used for a lot of good things too. And that's what we hope everyone who uses computers will do. So far, there haven't been any problems.
We're pleased to have technology available to students at the CLK Elementary School and at the Early Childhood Center as well. At the elementary school, we have a 15 computer station lab available for students to come to with their classes, as well as to come in small groups to use a variety of software packages. In addition, each classroom is equipped with at least one state-of-the-art computer, as well as some Apple computers that have software packages available for use on them too. And we think the technology is important to introduce at the elementary school and even at the early childhood level so that students become familiar with the technical aspects of using technology and the many uses that technology affords. We're hoping that increasingly teachers will be able to use technology with students. Some software packages, excellent software packages, are available in the various subject areas, in science and social studies and literature, and even in mathematics, that can supplement their instructional plans. We can also see many benefits in using the internet so that students and teachers alike can access information literally from around the world to incorporate into lessons. And there are also opportunities to share information with students from across the nation and indeed from across the world. So the opportunities that we have now to use the technologies are much greater than we had in the other buildings where we were located even last year.
As the principal of Washington Middle School, I'm very proud of the position we're in as far as technology goes for our 6th through 8th grade students. The establishment of a full-time technology lab for grades 6 through 8 starting this past September was a goal that I had for 3 years, and it finally came about by getting a room vacant once the new elementary school was completed, so I was very happy and proud to see that start this September. This also created some other things for us, that we were also to establish 2 other computer labs in the middle school, one for 7th and 8th grade, each having a semester class, and we were very happy to see that continue. And this year, new for 6th graders was a keyboarding class, and they also have their own computer lab. So we are very fortunate that we have 3 labs here. In addition to that, we are looking forward to our new class next year in 6th grade, where we will be broadcasting, hopefully across the school district, various things like school activities, community activities, weather reports, local news, and any special things that could be happening out in the world, and then also our own local school announcements. So a lot of things are happening. I think our kids are very happy with what they're doing, and it seems like they're very intense in learning as much as they can about the new technology.
Amy Lucas has spoken to Mr. Tyberg, the superintendent of the CLK district. This is what he had to say about all the new technology in our schools.
Our school district right now is able to offer each one of our students the finest technology that money can buy. I think our school system, if you look at the board's commitment and as well as the district's computer and technology committee, have actually set forth a plan for our students, whether that be in the classroom, in the library, and also to service our community. As you're well aware, Amy, we have a lot of good things happening here right now. We have computers in every classroom. Every classroom is connected and wired so that you can actually have the internet use in the classroom. You have email, you have voicemail. We're ready for today as well as the future. Other things that we're offering students, as well as computer labs in each of our buildings, we also have computer-assisted drafting programs. We have business technology. We have hydraulics, robotics, pneumatics. I think we're into the new millennium with the technology, and I think we have nothing negative happening here. It's new to all of us, though.
What opportunities do you think children have with this new technology?
Okay, well, some of the classes I have mentioned to you, and that's what we have today. But your Board of Education has a big commitment for, not only for today, like I said, but also in the future. You know, the board many years ago, when we established the new building, set as one of its goals to not only give our students the finest possible education, but also to be prepared for the future. And technology is where the future is going. We heard what we have today in our buildings, but tomorrow you're going to be looking at hypermedia. You're going to be looking at maybe a TV lab, television station lab right here for students. You're going to look at us broadcasting maybe from this office here to you in a classroom in the future. So I think the future is wide open, and we're going to see more technology, more computers in the classrooms, and just a lot of great things happening in our school system.
Schools are changing and will always be changing. When we graduate from school, we will make about 8 job changes before we retire. All of them will be computer related. Soon, all classes will disappear except reading and mathematics. Instead, teachers will be training children to use computers and to find information. I hope you enjoyed watching our program. You can change the channel now.